everyone. Happy Friday.
Hello.
Happy Facebook Live Friday.
Yes.
February the 9th. We're going to let a few people join in. And we have some exciting things to talk about today on this Friday. Hope you guys are warm wherever you are. And it's not raining. Heard it's raining in some other areas.
It is 50 degrees in Atlanta.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's not bad.
No,
for a Friday, considering where we've been before.
Correct, for a Friday. So we're looking down because we're going to share this to our personal pages, and we are excited to be here, but we also suggest that you guys share this to your pages as well so we can get as many eyeballs on the video. So whoever you think would benefit from some marketing tips and tricks and some discussion, please tag them and share the information.
Yes, come on in. You might have questions. They may have questions.
Mm-hmm.
We'll always have it up on after we're done for you to be able to share it. But it's always fun talking to people while we are on live. So please come on in, share, tag somebody. I know there's a couple of people I tagged. Thank you for always coming in.
Yes.
And as you come in, I'll be seeing you. I'll be noting you. So
yes, Diana has her eye on you guys.
Oh,
and if you have questions as well, please feel free to drop those in, and we're going to monitor because we want this to be interactive. It's not just us giving information, but we want to answer your questions as well. So if you have some questions pertaining to our topics, put those in the comments, and then also we'll have a Q&A session at the end once we go through all of our great details. So again, happy Friday. My name is Adrienne of Adrienne J Media.
I am Diana, the sidekick.
Oh, she's more than a sidekick. But, welcome here to our second edition of Facebook Live.
Yes.
This is we're coming to you again because in our last session we had people say that they want us to do it more frequently. So we're excited about that. So we're doing this. If Tanya's watching, we're doing this for you, Tanya.
Yes, Tanya.
Because you said you wanted to see us every week. So we thought we'd do every other week. Yeah. So we're going to ease into it. Today is, again, February the 9th. Excuse me, it's a little chilly in here. Today is February the 9th, and it is also National Pizza Day. So congrats, and I guess happy National Pizza Day.
Have a pizza.
If you are in North Georgia, our client in Decula, Georgia, more specifically, our client De Palma's Italian Cafe is actually giving away one slice of pizza today. So they have a delicious homemade fresh Italian food. So if you're in North Georgia, go get your free slice. Have a delicious glass of wine with them and some great pasta. They have the PDP or the Pasta De Palma. So good. Happy National Pizza Day.
Yes.
So check them out. And then Diana had a social media fact. We thought we'd start these videos off as people come in with a social media fact or what's hot in the social media or digital world. So take it away, Diana.
While I'm doing that, please come on in. If you're in here, I can see you when you log in. Just give a thumbs up. You can hear us well. We're sounding well. We're not, we're sitting up. That kind of thing. But just come on in, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, let me know you're there. There's news that came out today that Facebook is testing a downvote button.
Yes, people talked about that.
I mean, that's Facebook is always testing something out. We always started out with just the like button, and now you have the love button, the sad button, all those emojis up there. But now they're testing a downvote, which will let users flag and hide comments that they deem inappropriate. Now you have to go to the top right corner of a post, and then you go and hide from timeline or save from timeline. But now they're testing a button that will give you the downvote. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Is that a thing? People will be disliking your comments right in your face, or
leave us a comment if you are like a thumbs up for the thumbs down button.
Right.
Essentially, I personally would like to have one for people who are. Yeah, definitely. For some of the stuff that I see in my timeline. And I actually was talking to Diana about this the other day, and we're going to digress a little bit before we jump into the topic today. But I was like, I don't like seeing this content on my page, but I don't want to dislike the person, and I don't want to unfollow them. And she was like, you can hide that information. And of course I'm like, I can hide it, but I felt bad doing that as well. So this button would
But that's so in your face. Like, I don't know if I want to be somebody that really doesn't like, and like social media is open out there. You'll be having a lot of people change their pages to private.
Well, we will see, I guess, if they do this dislike button, is it going to be where it's confidential?
Right.
Because when you report someone now, if you don't like the content, it's confidential. So I'm assuming that this button won't be Adrienne dislike Diana's post. But maybe.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Carolina, I see you've joined us somewhere in Atlanta. Hey, thank you for joining us. We are doing our AJM Live. We're speaking about social sharing.
Yes.
We just gotten started. We are giving the news of the day. Facebook is coming up with a dislike button. How you feel about that? If you have any questions for us, not on just on social sharing, on digital advertising, digital media, email marketing, social media, web development, leave us a comment. Let us know. We'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Hey, girl, I see you. I'll be looking down, so I'll be commenting while Adrienne keeps talking. But thank you for joining us.
Yes, thanks for joining us. So today our topic is going to be about social sharing. And specifically what it is and why it's important for small businesses, and then basically what are some of the great things that can happen when you get your content right, and you have your customers or your clients and your fans sharing your content. So to start off, what is social sharing? And we all know what this is. This is just a technical term. But essentially, social sharing is when you share someone's content. So when you share a photo of your best friend's baby, or your dog, or a video that you saw that you think is hilarious and you share it to someone's page. Social sharing could also be what we're asking that you guys do, and leaving a comment with someone's name in it. So tagging them in a post or an image or a video, and basically saying, hey, did you see this? That's a form of social sharing. And that is really important when you think about a small business and you think about the impact that social sharing can have on your business and your reach. So that is a little bit about what social sharing is. We all do it on a daily basis, very organically, when we share content or mention our friends and family in hot topics or funny things, or those viral videos that we all watch. We were just watching the guy on Ellen. The guy on Ellen, Kaylin Allen. We were watching Kaylin Allen on Ellen yesterday in the office, and I was just mesmerized. And I just watched 2 or 3 of his videos. Like, he's hilarious.
And maybe the term has come. They keep changing the terms as we go along. So it probably started out as social media sharing. Now it's come down to social sharing or just sharing. And it doesn't apply to just one platform. So not just Facebook. You can be social sharing across multiple platforms with the same content, with different content. So it's a trend that's coming up. You might be hearing a little more about it. And as a business, anytime you hear something in the news or a trend, you jump on the bandwagon. Test it out, try it out. You never know, it might be the next big thing, and you may be one of the early adopters rather than later on in the game when everybody has used it and it's become a thing.
Yeah, that's a great point. Don't be afraid to try out different strategies, personally or with your business, when it comes to digital marketing. So here's the good stuff, right? So why is social sharing important to your business? Number one, it amplifies your reach. So it gets you out there to more people. It puts more eyeballs on your content. More people can see your content. So as an example, if I am, and we'll use the Kaylin Allen gentleman. Let's say that I came across Kaylin Allen's video. This is actually a very great example, because his first video, or the video that quote unquote went viral, got over 4 million views. And he got that many views because of social sharing. So imagine that reach that it got if that was actually a small business. So in any event, to get back to the example, Kaylin Allen created that first video. I saw it and then shared it to my profile. Now people who are my friends now have the probability of seeing that and it landing in their news feed because I shared it. You guys often see across Facebook or even on Instagram, you'll see where there are, and this is when people like it, but Diana liked this video, Diana commented on this video, Diana shared this video. So it amplifies the amount of eyeballs, or the amount of people that see or have the probability of seeing your content. So that is number one. When you think about having a business and you think about wanting to expand your reach, reach more clients, at the end of the day sell more product or sell more of that service, having your content shared does that. But I'd like to make a point to kind of caveat that, I guess, and I want us to understand that social sharing doesn't necessarily equal products sold. It equals exactly, okay, should I repeat it? Okay, yes, social sharing doesn't necessarily equal products or services sold. What it equals is eyeballs on your content. And that at times can be just as important as, selling a product. Because when you think about it, and this goes back to our last Facebook Live, and if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it, but we talk about authenticity.
Right.
When you have content that's being socially shared that kind of positions your brand as being authentic, which could eventually down the line convert a sharer or a viewer into a customer. So just understand that while social sharing amplifies those eyeballs, it increases your reach, it doesn't necessarily equal sales just yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
While we're doing that, Adrienne is talking about social sharing and why it's important to your business. That's our topic today. I have a couple of people who have joined. I see Shay Brown.
Hey.
Hi, Shay.
Hey,
I see Felicitas. I see Catherine. I see Ricky. Please come on in, share, invite somebody else to come watch. They'll get free business tips. We're talking about on AJM Live, social sharing and why it's important to your business. Adrienne mentioned a gentleman by the name of Kalen Allen. If you don't know him, Google him.
You really know him. You've seen his video on Facebook.
He was a college student who did a commentary on recipes, and then Ellen picked him. And now he's working for Ellen. That is like the ultimate social sharing as you can get, which can turn it into a business. But it just translates to your business. What you're sharing, if it's intentional and it's crafted the right way, it can lead to business. But at the point Adrienne just made, it has a reach, an amplified reach to it, but it does not equal.
It doesn't equal immediate sales to a product, but it is still very important, again, because we are amplifying our reach and we're making more people aware of your business. So the second reason as to why social sharing is important is thought leadership. And again, I'm going to reference that previous video where we talk about authenticity. Thought leadership is very important in your business because you want your customer or your client to know that you are an expert in your field. So if I were to, as we're doing now, let's use it as an example, we're sharing very tangible information for small businesses about social media, email marketing, so on and so forth in our Facebook Lives. We'll be doing that all year. If someone were to share this information on their page, that then helps establish us as a thought leader. You can come to us and get great information. And what better way to have someone sign off on your business than to have them share information that, again, helps establish that you are an expert. So you are authentically sharing or having people indirectly share authentic information about your business. And being a thought leader is very important. Who doesn't want to work with someone that knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about, right? So again, we said number one in regards to why social sharing is important for your small business. Number one, it amplifies your reach. You are putting more eyeballs on your business, on your content. And then number two, thought leadership. It establishes you as a thought leadership if in fact you are sharing and people, your followers are sharing very tangible and direct and informative information.
I'm going to throw in a little few facts or numbers out there for you to think about. 28% of people say they use social media to research/find products. People don't go to maybe Google, but they will always trust people who are their friends who have commented on products that they have seen. I had somebody who saw a hair product and inboxed me, have you tried this hair product by this person? Do you know who this person is? I know them, but I don't know them personally. And that's how they find hair products. So you may not go to a store to buy the hair product. You'll search it online. It says 28%, and it says that number is continuing to climb. A lot of millennials will go to social media to find out what people say about a product or a restaurant or a book or just to get information before they go and try out and spend their money to go and get the product. So even as this is, it keeps climbing up, it also says that the amounts that companies are using for budgeting on not so much traditional advertising, but digital advertising that includes being campaigns on social media,
yes,
or pushing products on, or when you see an ad on social media that says sponsored content,
mm-hmm,
right? That's how they're pushing out their products, and it looks just like a post. You'd be thinking, oh, where
right,
did this come from? And more times than none, you click on that. But I know I've done that.
And we know that it's advertising.
It is advertising. You're like, oh, that's an ad. Like you want on TV, you change the channel. You're like, oh, but sometimes you just stop and
yes,
they get your attention with that. And
but that's a great point, though. And this is going to. So we talked about the social sharing. We know these top 2 points, right? Social sharing is important to your business.
Right.
Number 1, because it amplifies your reach.
Uh-huh.
Number 2, it establishes you as a thought leader.
Yeah.
But before we get to the sharing point, and this is going to speak to what Diana just talked about in regards to the advertising, you got to have good content. You have to have a compelling image, a compelling message, a compelling video, something that speaks to your follower, that ignites something in them to want to share it.
Right.
So before we even get to that share button, the content the content itself must be compelling enough to make someone want to share. So how do you create that kind of content?
Right.
How do you know what to post so that it can quote unquote go viral, or so that it will be shareable? And the most important thing when it comes to small businesses is that you share information. That as a business owner, and regardless of your industry, even if you're selling bundles of hair, there should be some informative
aspect to it.
Absolutely, informative aspect to what you are putting on social media. It should not be sell my product. Right? We like to use a formula that's called 80% lifestyle, 20% selling.
Yeah.
And lifestyle can be, and this is how we craft our strategy for all of our clients. That lifestyle content could be information about the brand itself, how the brand is run, the people who are behind the brand, information about the product, not selling the product, but maybe how the product is made, how the service is constructed, so on and so forth. And then 20% of the rest of that content should be direct selling to their customer. But inside of that lifestyle content should be content where you're educating your customer, telling them about what's going on in your industry, providing them tips on how to right, whatever the industry is, and then delighting them with some sort of information or some sort of imagery that's appropriate to your industry, that really speaks to your brand.
And also, in what Adrienne is saying is, be very strategic about what you do on your social media before you hit the share button. So if you are an accounting or a bank or a financial institution, you are talking about that, and then you see something funny on your personal line that you want to share on your business page, think twice about that. Just don't go on there. Some things may be needing to stay on your personal page versus your business page, so that you don't have a break in your consistency of your message, where you are talking about finances, and then you throw like a funny gif or something that happened that has nothing to do with your business. Be very strategic, because it's very easy to lose the attention of your audience with just that click. Thank God now they have like the delete button. Nowadays somebody will screenshot something, it's gone out there, you can't, nothing is not hidden. So just be very strategic about how the content that you're putting out there. Before you hit the share button, look at it, edit. Does it match the style of what you're trying to say? Does it match your brand that you're trying to put out there? Does it match your audience? Are they going to receive it? You might put something and see it might not get 5 likes, something else might get 100 likes. So be very strategic as you craft your messaging about what you're trying to say.
And what we're getting into now, and maybe we will make this topic another session, another Facebook Live, is really about your content strategy. That is another Facebook Live. Possibly we will follow up with that one, but just understand that in order for your customers to want to share, you have to present some really good content. And to Diana's point, content that is applicable to your brand. And it doesn't always have to be branded content, so it doesn't always have to have your logo plastered on it, although we are sitting in front of our logo. So that's pretty good. But this is great lighting in our office, so that's how we're doing it. But in any event, you want to make sure that it's not, again, you're not hammering home the fact that you're selling something my brand, but you're delighting your followers, you're giving them some of that lifestyle content, that education, and then you're selling. And then I just want to throw in a stat to speak to the branding, but according to what we have here, 96% of online conversations are actually unbranded. Right? 96%. That's a lot. That's a lot of percentage.
That means only 4%.
4% is actually branded.
Which is crazy.
Right. So you want to think about what the content that you're putting out there, and understand that every post doesn't have to have your logo in the lower left-hand corner. And I know that some brands are afraid that people may steal their pictures, and I don't want anybody taking my imagery. Well, this is 2018 and people steal pictures all the time. And what's more important is that you are connecting with your customer and hopefully getting them to share your content. So it doesn't have to always be branded, but it does need to be relevant to your audience, so that they have a higher probability of sharing the content.
I have a couple people, not a couple, more than a couple. We see you all out there. Dawn, hey, how are you, Dawn? We see you. Sharon, Joffrey, and Cindy, welcome back, all y'all. Daisy, my brother Alan, all the way from Nairobi. Becky, Esther, Sheila. Send us your questions. Let us know you can hear us. We are talking about social sharing and why it's important to your business. Sometimes you don't realize it. Your brand is also your business. You as a person is a brand. So this also applies to you. We have talked about how social sharing, the reach is very important. It's very important how many people it reaches and how you reach them. And then the second one is also thought leadership.
Yes, thought leadership is super important. So our top 2 reasons as to why social sharing is important for your business is, like Diana said, number 1, you're reaching more eyeballs. More people have a probability of learning about your business authentically from people that they trust. Right, so other people are sharing that content. It doesn't cost you anything because someone is sharing it, so we love that as a business. And then number 2, it establishes you as a thought leader, which means that you now become a trusted source. But we also wanted to, and this is what we were discussing before we did this little segue, we talked about how it's very important to realize that although we're putting more eyeballs on our content via social sharing, so people sharing your content, that doesn't necessarily mean that someone's going to buy day 1 or even by day 2. We have to understand that social sharing equals more eyeballs, but it doesn't necessarily immediately equal more sales. But if content is created to and be tailored to your audience, if it speaks to your brand, then you will see higher conversions down the line if you're consistent.
And the last point Adrienne made before we jumped out of that segment is not everything you put on social media has to be branded. A research that was done, 96% of content that is online is unbranded. That means only 4%. That is a huge number.
It's a huge number. So we're going to probably jump into our Q&A. Well, we are going to jump into our Q&A right now. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and then we will answer them. Also, please share this video or tag anyone in this video. If you think that they'll benefit from this information, we're going to start trying to do these at least every other Friday. We enjoy it. We heard from our first Facebook Live that our viewers enjoyed it, and we really do authentically like to share information with people out there who are fellow small businesses.
You're giving us great feedback.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're giving us good feedback. We specifically work with small businesses across a number of industries. So a lot of the questions or issues that you may be having with your digital marketing, we've experienced it before with some of our clients. We also, I want to give another shout out. Today is National Pizza Day, if you guys didn't know that. And if you are in North Georgia, our client, De Palma's Italian Cafe, is giving away free slices today. So go and check them out, have a glass of wine, or follow them on Facebook and Instagram. But celebrate National Pizza Day, have some pizza. And if you are vegan or vegetarian, you can have pizza without the cheese and the meat, because that's what I'll be doing. Just wanted to add that in.
A couple of people have joined in. I see you, Mercy. I see you, 360. Thank you all for coming in. Ashlyn, I see you there. You have a question for us. We are going to jump into how you can make your brand a trusted source, and then we'll jump into questions with that as we go along, while we wait for a few more people to send us your questions. But thank you for your questions. I see your question there, Ashlyn.
Hey, Ashlyn. Here, I'll tackle her question really quickly.
Oh, okay.
So Ashlyn asked, I don't know if you guys can see it, how long does it usually take to build an audience? So that there isn't a direct answer to that because it depends on what tactics you're using to build your audience.
Right.
Sometimes a small business will start a profile, so an Instagram or a Facebook, and they will attempt to organically build their audience,
Right.
which means that they'll go in and they'll post, they'll engage with people or followers who they feel like are like-minded, they'll leave comments, and they attempt to organically grow their audience. And that can take, let's say we start from 0, we want to get to 1,000. That can take anywhere from, depending upon how rigorously you're doing it, 1 week
Right.
to 3, 4, 5 months, right? The other option is small businesses will start a profile and then they will put dollars behind it. When we say put dollars behind, that means that they will then run a campaign to boost their profile across a specific target that they think would be their audience, and that makes your numbers shoot up much faster. So there isn't really a typical framework to go by. If I say I start my profile on February the 1st,
Right.
by February the 10th, I ought to have 6 million followers.
Right.
Nobody hears Will Smith, right? So his Instagram is blowing up because he's
Right.
Will Smith, and he
Right.
has great content.
Right.
But for the average small business, what you want to do is decide what your approach is going to be, and then monitor your tactics and monitor your activity and see what's working. So if today I start liking a lot of people located in Smyrna, Georgia, and I've lifted by 12 followers, then maybe next week I want to do that as well and see if I'm going to get 24 followers. So again, it depends on if you're doing an organic approach or if you're doing a paid approach. Oftentimes the paid approach will work much faster and you'll get a higher audience, but sometimes small businesses don't have the budget to put into that. But that was a really good question, Ashley. Thank you for that.
And also, to add on to what Adrienne has said, this is a very common question or thing we get from our clients that we work with when we are sitting down to talk to them for the first time and finding out what their goals are for getting into social media. Some of them have been on social media and don't see that reach, and that's always one of the things we caution about. You can't start today. Social media takes a while to build up, and you have to be consistent, and there's a process to it. So don't wake up next week and say, you told me I'm paying you all this money and I don't have 500 followers. It doesn't work like that. You have to consistently, and the approach to why you're doing it is what will help your audience be drawn to you. Once they catch on and they see you're giving them content and you're answering a need that they have, then they come in. But it's something that we do caution, especially small businesses, when we work with them about don't expect so much on the front end, but as you continue along, you'll get more at the back end.
And followers don't always equal sales either. And followers also don't always equal engagement. And what you really want as a small business is quality over quantity. You want customers who are sharing your content. That's what we're talking about today, social sharing. Customers who are sharing your content, who's amplifying the eyeballs on your content, and then customers who are engaging with the content. So would 6,000 over 600 be better? If those 6,000 are truly engaged, then absolutely. But if those 600 are knocking it out of the park, sharing your content, commenting, mentioning family, friends, whomever, then they actually have more bang for the buck. And if you're not spending money, they actually are doing you more of a service than that 6,000.
I also see some other people have joined. Celestine, Chakuri. I see other comments here saying great info. If you have any questions that don't necessarily include social sharing, one way or another, they're all interconnected.
It is.
Digital media advertising, digital media, email marketing, anything that will help your small business grow from where it is, or your big business take it to the next step. It's AJM Live Friday. We're talking about social sharing and why it is important to your business. Send us your questions, comments. We love having y'all here. I see some of you people sharing, so thank you.
Yes, thank you so much
that you're on here today.
So Diana wanted us to jump into how do you become a trusted source. We talked earlier about thought leadership and how that's important with social sharing. That's our number 2 reason as to why social sharing is important for small businesses,
right.
but how do you become a trusted source? And we talked about this a little bit in regards to the type of content that you're sharing. Just as a recap, we recommend that small businesses have an 80-20 rule, about 80% lifestyle and 20% selling. You don't want to sell all the time. That 80% lifestyle could actually include content that is about your business, not necessarily selling, but the background behind who are these people in this business, why was the business started, what are we doing on a daily basis, how are the products made, how's the service constructed, and then information about your industry. So again, like we're doing Facebook Lives now, we're providing value to our followers about how they can make their social media, their digital marketing better if they're a small business. So that 80-20 rule is important.
It's important.
But to the 80-20 rule, I'm getting excited here. The 80-20 rule is also very helpful in establishing yourself as a trusted source on social media, because when you're a trusted source,
people come to you.
They come to you,
Yeah.
and it also helps convert
Yes.
people, potential customers, quicker,
Yeah.
right? Because I trust you, you're giving me great information, so on and so forth. So how do you do that? We talked about that. Number one, great content.
Great content.
Really great content. And we will probably do another Facebook Live that delves more into content, but content that speaks to your industry and delights and provides value. Diana made a point earlier, do not post content, or it's not very advantageous to post content on your business page that doesn't have much to do with your industry or your business. So have great content that's relevant. Also being a trusted source, we want to talk about sharing appropriate headlines, so attention grabbing headlines, and that goes with like blogging. Even today when you look at our Facebook Live, I would like to think, because I wrote it, our title is
Send her the letters.
Yeah, send me the letters. If it's not good. I would like to think that our headline for this Facebook Live is appropriate and attention getting for the audience that we have. We also want to make sure, or it's a potential opportunity to partner with people, right? Become a trusted source by partnering with other sources. We actually have discussed bringing in some of our clients to share more small business details. Shout out to Preston CPA, who's actually down the hall from us. They're an amazing accounting firm that has some really great relationship building techniques. They're not the typical accounting firm, but as we talk about small businesses, we've thought about partnering with them on a separate Facebook Live and sharing not just details about digital marketing, but also how do you get your books together? What's the most important thing? And as another additional plug, we have taken over their social media, and we're doing exactly what we're speaking with you guys about. We're sharing thought-provoking posts. We're sharing content that speaks to their industry and that establishes them as a thought leader.
As we're talking about that, we at Adrienne Media, we're all about building relationships and long-lasting relationships, and not just about just about make the money and go, but making relationships. We work a lot also with small businesses, as Adrienne was talking about on Preston. They have a great article today about forms, business forms that you need as a business. You might not know. You may be trying to go around, set up your social media, set up your business, set up this and all that, and there's all this, and you don't know where to start because you can go on Google and get confused about what you're trying to do. Again, being a trusted source, somebody can tell you, go this way, try this, try that, because somebody else has done the research for you. If you go on their page, you'll find that article. It might help you get your stuff together, and that's how usually, as we started saying in the beginning, 28% of people on the internet use social media to research/find products. So if you have a product, you become a thought leader, people can go on your site, find the information they need, and that makes you a trusted source.
So those are some of the top reasons as to how you become a trusted source. If you guys have any additional questions, or you have topics that you'd like us to talk about on Facebook Live, or via our email marketing tactics, I guess I lost my word there. You can email us at hello@adriennejmedia.com. The information is also in our About page on our Facebook page. There's also a sign-up button for our email marketing list where we share even more tips and tricks, and then keep you up to date about what's going on with our agency. So please, after you leave this Facebook Live today, sign up for our email marketing list so we can share more information with you and more trusted leader type content.
At the beginning, we did say a quick tip of what's happening in the news world.
Yeah.
Facebook is testing out a dislike button.
Yeah, they are.
Whether they're trying to think about whether they should add that to, before we only used to have the like button, then we went to the love and the crying one and the sad one. Now they're thinking about the dislike, so you can hide content that you don't like and stuff like that. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I, for one, am very excited about it. I plan on utilizing it if they do implement it. I think it's great. And Diana made a point earlier saying, she wouldn't want people to know that she disliked someone's content. I personally think that Facebook will put some not ramifications, but some realms around it to kind of like when you go in and you hit that this content, or don't tag me in this content, or this content is spam, where the person doesn't know that you're doing it. But when we do our Facebook Lives, we will make sure that we share information like Diana just did about what's hot right now in the digital marketing world, and information that you need to know.
I see Celestine is like, yay.
I know, Celestine, I want it too.
No. Whoever's with me, say with me. I don't know about that, but I think it becomes a personal choice.
Yes.
People can decide. You don't have to use it. All the others are up there. You only get to use one at a time.
Yes.
So.
But as we're thinking about social sharing, as a person who has been abused by the social sharing of family and friends on my Facebook page, I personally would like to be able to say, you know what? I do not like this. And just to do a full circle conversation that goes back to why brands should share content that is delightful and appropriate to their customer, because in fact Facebook is going to make it to where your customer cannot like it eventually. Right. So it's important, as we are marketers, as Diana and I are marketers, we are also consumers.
Yes.
So oftentimes when we make decisions for our customers, we think about how we feel about that as a consumer, as a Facebook user, which is why I firmly endorse Facebook's dislike button if they will come out with one. I think it'll be great.
And in talking about social sharing, as we said earlier, not everything that applies to your personal page has to go on your business page.
Exactly.
So if it's something that will not work well with the dislike button on your business page, put it on your personal page. Let people dislike it there. It's people you can deal with. Because in this day and age, as we say, one of the tips we shared on one of our recent Facebook posts, don't put up anything that you don't think anybody will see. It will all be seen. It won't come by. Somebody will just take a snapshot, and years from now they will say, you said.
Right.
So just before you hit the publish button or the share button, really look at what content that you have.
Yep. So we'll do a quick recap of, just for those who just joined in.
Yes.
Hey, Whitney. Hey, Whitney.
Thank you for sharing your lunch break with us.
Yes, we appreciate you. For those who are just joining in, we'll do a recap of what we're discussing today to give you guys time to put more questions in the comment section. The questions don't have to be just about social sharing. They can be about email marketing, email advertising, digital marketing, social media advertising, so on and so forth. So just leave those questions there. But to recap, we're talking to everyone today. We're discussing social sharing and why it's important for small businesses. Number one, it amplifies your reach. It gets more eyeballs on your content. Right. And then number two, it establishes you as a thought leader, and doing so could help convert potential fans, or convert actual fans to customers down the line. Keeping top of mind that more eyeballs on your content doesn't necessarily mean immediate sales, but it absolutely can lead to such, and can lead to viral videos. We talked a little bit earlier about Kaylin Allen, who watches the food videos and does his recaps or his reviews, and how by the power of social sharing, his content became viral. And that is actually how content becomes viral. It's by social sharing. So it's important that we as small businesses create great content that is shared, that can be shared by our customers and our fans. And
before we close out, the last one Adrienne had said, the rule you should follow is 80-20. 80% lifestyle, what's happening in the business and being informative, 20% selling, so that you're not just bombarding your audiences and those watching you and sharing your content with just buy. It's not, or people get turned off by that very quickly. So
yeah, that's good. Thanks. So it is 1:37 on February the 9th. Again, it's National Pizza Day.
Yes.
So go get you some pizza
Get
today.
some pizza.
And we look forward to seeing you guys again. Please, if you have not already, like our Facebook page. You can follow us on Instagram at the same handle.
Yes.
We have it here at Adrienne J Media.
At Adrienne J Media.
We're going to work on this positioning for the next one. At Adrienne J Media. You can also email us at hello@adriennejmedia.com. Of course, you can check us out online at adriennejmedia.com. So we are here to provide as much delightful and informative content to you guys as you would like to consume. So if you have anything you want us to share moving forward, to talk about moving forward, please feel free to share it in our hey to the pizza emojis, Whitney. You feel free to share it in the comment section below, and we'll get that in for our next Facebook Live. We hope you guys have a wonderful Friday.
Anyone who is feeling in the mood, bring us some pizza.
Yeah, bring us some
National
pizza.
You know, in June, National Pizza Day, you can always do a friend a favor. Just bring us some pizza. We're open.
Yeah. No meat for mine, please.
No meat for
or
hers.
cheese. Thank you.
The dislike button. Yeah, no
Thank
cheese. But anyway, it's been great, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Even after this is over, feel free to leave comments, inbox us, anything you want us to tackle next time. If you want to be a guest on AJM Live, let us know. We'll be more than happy to have you. We hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend. It's been so much fun. Yes, absolutely. And we'll see you guys maybe next Friday or the Friday after next. We'll put up a post. Yes. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.